Hello friends, this is Andre again, and today I want to talk about Uber. It's been a year and almost a month since I started working for Uber, and I want to give you kind of like a review for the past year. Now I have a couple screenshots that I took today, and I want to kind of show you so you know that I'm legit. Okay, the first image is going to say how many 5 stars do I have. It says here that I have 672 stars, 5 stars, and it says 4.80. That's my rating. And I want to show you another screen and see here in the bottom it says lifetime trips. I don't know if you can see this, but it says 1,394 lifetime trips, and out of these 1,394, 782 of them got rated. That means that 612 did not get rated. So today I want to talk about the pros and the cons of Uber. It's very important. Here's why I like Uber, for example, over Lyft based on the ratings. So the way Lyft system works is they rate you based on the last 100 rides. So let's say you're working in the evening and somehow you're not doing good because you're working night shift and people give you a low rating. Your rating will drop immediately. But the way Uber rating system works is it's actually based on your 500 ratings. And as you can see that I showed you, I had more than 600 something 5 stars. So overall, my 5 stars are 86%, and 4 stars 10%. So if you combine 5 stars and 4 stars, I have 96%, and 3 stars or less is only 4%. So this way my rating stays at 4.8, and it's going to be a long time before they can deactivate the app or for some reason try to mess with you. Because some companies like Lyft, if your rating drops below a certain point, they might send you an email. They might send you gotta like work on your make sure your car is clean, make sure you're friendly, make sure you ask the passenger if they want to have a shorter route or the faster route. Just kind of improve yourself. But today I want to concentrate on Uber. Here's why I like Uber. Number 2, I like Uber because Uber also does have an option for Uber Eats. Where I work in Northwest, for Uber X, I get paid $1.15. And Uber takes 25% of that. But when you do Uber Eats, not only you get, they only take 10%. But obviously they're going to pay less. They pay you 90 cents a mile. So after they take their 10%, you still make 80 cents a mile. But what I like about Uber Eats also, they give you a pickup fee. After they take out the 25%, you still get $1.80 every time you go into the restaurant and pick up food. And when you drop off the food, after their fee, they give you, I make a profit of $1.35 just by dropping off the food. So it does make sense to sign up for Uber and sign up for Uber Eats, because you can make extra money by just like, you're more active by like going to the restaurants, talking to people. You're more active, you're more social compared to just sitting in the car all day. So number 3, like I said, the number 1 was I like Uber rating system because they rate you based on your 500 based on your last 500 rated trips. So that's why my score is so high. It's 4.80. So I also like Uber because Uber have an option inside the app where people can give you compliments, like you receive you kind of like receive badges for being clean, for having your car clean, for having like for example, if you're a good talker, they give you like a great conversation badge. So I kind of like the system. It kind of gives you incentive to continue being friendly, and the more badges you have, the better you look. Like I said before, I've done almost 1,400 rides just with Uber for the past year and almost a month. Now let's talk about the cons. One of the things that I don't like about Uber is because they don't have an option to tip. So Lyft has that option, but Uber doesn't. Uber says that the tips are included, gratuity included, but in reality sometimes they lower the prices and it affects you a lot. But it's not a big deal because I still get tips. If you do a good job, if you're being friendly, if you give somebody a ride from point A to point B, they will tip you, and just because you are a safe driver. Number two, I don't like that Uber, when you arrive to pick up a passenger, you cannot click and says, like Lyft has an option where you can click and your time starts when you arrive. Uber, the person physically have to come into your car, and only then you slide the button that you pick up the passenger. So sometimes you might be waiting 5-6 minutes, and what I do is when I come in, I usually send them a text that I'm here if the passenger is not by the curbside. So number three, what I don't like about Uber is me personally, after doing this over a year, I think that Uber is taking a big cut. They're taking 25%. My personal opinion, it should be at least maybe between 10 and 20%. I would say the middle ground. If Uber can lower their fee to 15%, it would be perfect, because it would give a driver a chance to make more money. Now, here's a couple tips that I can give you. One of the common questions that I get is a lot of people asking how much you make an hour, how much you're making weekly. I cannot honestly give you that answer, because where I work and where you live, let's say you live in Florida, let's say you live in Orlando, obviously you're going to be making less money per mile than where I live in Northwest. So it depends on you have to do some research. You have to do thorough research. You have to know your market. My friendly advice: if your city doesn't pay at least 80 cents a mile, for UberX, don't try UberX. What I recommend is try to put some money aside. Get a fancier car, get like a black, nice import car. Maybe work a year, put it aside, and maybe start working for Uber Select. Because if you have a fancier car, if you have more prestigious car, you'll be making more money. For example, where I work, I might be getting paid just $1.15 for UberX. But if I go and sign up for Select, I might be making $2.75 a mile. So my challenge even to you guys, because sometimes the taxi drivers, sometimes they attack me and they give me all these questions to say that you cannot make money with Uber. Now, the taxi drivers, on average, where I live, they make about $2.80 a mile. So if you get Uber Select car and you're making $2.75 a mile, you're making as much as the taxi driver. But you don't have to pay between $300 and $600 to rent the permit or to be part of that taxi company. You work for yourself and you only get deducted 25% after the ride is done. I have to wrap it up. And one more goal is do not lease the car. Whatever you do, don't just lease the car. Just save some money and just start working for Uber with your own car. And overall, I want to say that I give Uber 4 stars out of 5 because I hope they can change the system and